pumped, and I got my notebook. I'm ready to take some notes. So Nicholas, I'm going to just let you take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michelle. I want to greet you guys in the name of Jesus Christ. I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys know me. You guys, if you've been spending at least 5 minutes with me, you know Romans 1:16 is something that I live to the very core of my being. I'm unashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I have to let y'all know that is a big part of everything I do. So that's where we're going to start it. And I'm so grateful to be here. And I am always, always, always honored for the opportunity to be a blessing to this community. So I pray that this is a blessing to you guys as well. But I have to warn you, this is going to be different because usually you guys get the Nicholas that is always about motivation, always about positivity, always about self-improvement. And yeah, that's going to happen tonight. But we're going to dispel some myths tonight, right? We're going to break down our process tonight. And when I say our process, it's not about the digital products. We're going to put this down for a second because the most important part of your business is you. The most important, listen, this is officially, and I want to say this publicly and officially now that I have Michelle's undivided attention. Thank you. Because of the fact that you took this process from not even being sure that you could make $54,000, right? And sitting in your house wondering, how did I get here? Right? But I want you to know that I don't just thank you for all the tools that you give, all the advice that you give daily. Like, guys, you have to understand it takes a lot of commitment. As somebody that also does something very similar, it takes a lot of commitment to do this every single day, right? And we get to have this. But beyond the tools like ChatGPT and having the daily the vision sprint, to be having these 90-day runs, y'all have to understand Michelle's been running on these 90-day runs for like 16 or 17 months. And every time she does one, she does another one, right? But I want to thank you for telling your story, because without it, we would not know who you really are. Because we can make a lot of assumptions of what we see when we see you, right? You look the part. You can sell the story of being successful, like in any business. But the thing that I am so grateful to God for you about is that you've always been willing to share you with us. That we know that you not only are a mom of 6 kids and a grandma of 5 kids, but you're also somebody that was confused and struggled in network marketing. And we all know about the infamous call that you got, that they called you in the office and said, we have some news, and you were thinking that this was the best decision because my income's gonna skyrocket. And then it didn't. Your income was cut in half, and you could have stuck in that, what can I choose to do but teach people how to suck and be just not where you want to be in life. But because you chose to see past your shortcomings, to see past what you perceive to be as failure, because I wholeheartedly believe that every single moment that you went through up till and unto that day Was God directing you in what you needed to go through to be where you are today? Because you wouldn't have the heart for people that you have. You would not have the experience that you have, and you know what it's like to struggle. You know what it's like to be drowning in medical debt. You know what it's like to not know what your life is going to be like 6 months from now, much less tomorrow. But I thank God that you didn't stop there. And the thing that I think is the most exciting is that I got to know you long before you hit $1 million doing this. And I am so grateful for that. And I wish you nothing but the best, my friend. And I wish you that God will 10x your entire life, much less your business. Because the one thing I have learned from watching you is your commitment to helping others succeed. And I learned this personally recently, that we can get so caught up, myself included. I've added 11 income streams in the last 11 and a half months, partly, in fact, because of you and because of what God has allowed you to do, right? But I want you to know something. You have built a legacy here that should be remembered as you redefining your story and having the strength and the courage to take that step that you yourself didn't know you could take, but you did take. And because you took that step, 9,100 lives around God's blessed earth can say that they have changed because of a decision you didn't think you could handle making. So I want you to know that. And I want everybody listening to understand why I did that, because that goes hand in hand with what I am going to be talking about tonight. It wasn't just giving Michelle a big old virtual bouquet of flowers, but it was bent on showing you that story is what wins. If you attend my live streams on any given day, I teach people, above all else, outside of my relationship with God and how focused I am about teaching about that, I teach people. People do not buy products and services, they buy the people selling them. We are too focused on here about $600 a day. We're too focused on it. I'm going to tell the truth and shame the devil. This is what it is. I have so many people on social media that say, okay, I've seen this and I've seen that, and I've seen people talk about all this money people can make, maybe make, hope to make this money. But yet you have other people in our community that tell me that I don't know what to say. And Michelle, I will never forget this, because it was a couple months after I joined. I think Michelle was a little bit frustrated with seeing people sell the plane. She talked about this so much, about, guys, when you think about taking a trip to Hawaii, you're not thinking about the pilot. You're not thinking about, well, we hope that you're not thinking about the pilot, but I'm just saying, you're not hoping about the space between the seats. You're not thinking about how many inches from the bathroom to the cockpit. You're not thinking about the wingspan of the 757 or 747 or 737 or 777. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about being on the sand. You're thinking about the wind in your hair. You're thinking about the kind of drink you're going to be having at the pool or at the beach or at the ocean, whatever it is. You're thinking about that moment, and you're thinking about that relaxation. I talked about last time that moment. That's what you're thinking about. So we're going to put down the digital products for tonight. Can we do that? Can we put down the digital products for tonight? Because I want to focus on you. I want to focus on how you become more relatable, more valuable, more consistent, becoming so valuable to your prospective client that they don't even question. They're like, which card? Is that it? Like literally, people are charging 10,000, 15,000 for this. What else I got to do? Pick a card, any card, which card you want, because I want to know how you can help me. And the only way you can prove that, the only way you can deliver that for people is by you first learning that your story is going to deliver for whoever is across the screen from you. But you cannot get to that place until you first believe it. See, people will sit up here and say, I love the community. We learned so much from the IPS digital products. And it's such an amazing experience. We have the best leaders, the best mentors. We get the best tips. We get so many different videos and all. But where are we saying this? It's not enough to say it inside the community, because guess what? Your customers aren't in here. Where they need to hear that the most, if you really believe that, it has to be more than just the shirt, ladies and gentlemen. You have to literally bring that to the public square. And that is what the centerpiece of your marketing strategy has to be. Think about why TikTok Shop is a billion-dollar business. What are they doing? Think about, okay, so let's do this, right? We're talking about TikTok, right? Anybody in the comments heard of Keith Lee? He's a food reviewer. Anybody heard of him? Put a one in the chat if you have. He's a food reviewer, probably one of the most famous food reviewers on TikTok. But what does he do? He tells people what business he went to, how about the people he went to talk to in said business. He talks about the food that he gets, and he talks about what his opinion is when he talks about that food and how can people get it. And literally in his videos, he says this, I hope it helps your marketing, right? Literally going through this entire process, we're going to be talking about the 4 keys of relatable content. And this, my friends, has everything to do with you and your journey. Do you really believe in this process? What do you believe about what this process can bring to you? What do you even believe this process is? And I'm going to say this, it has to be more than just about the ultimate outcome, which is the $300 to $600 a day. What industry are you in? You think that just you're in the e-learning industry, and we tout that and we say that and we think we believe it, but do we really? Do we really understand what industry we're in? I'm sorry, my friends, but digital marketing isn't just about resale rights. Digital marketing is not just about you being able to sell a course, to get the permission to sell education, to sell training. I've said this on numerous occasions of late. Digital marketing is how the planet Earth sells anything online. Anything. And I see so many creators get on social media, both inside our industry and outside, and they make digital marketing appear to be a course to sell a course. But if you understand what digital marketing really is, you would understand that you are in an industry that big businesses, Fortune 500 companies, multinational companies, that's what they use, coupled with social media, to actually deliver to their potential clients. It has to literally change the way you think about how you deliver in the industry you're in. But you cannot first deliver for people until you understand what you're delivering. You cannot hope to deliver a solution for people that you have not yet found. And this is the misconception, because I hear so many people ask me, well, I have not made a sale yet. So what do I say to people? How do I connect with people? How do I reach people on that personal level? I'm sorry, but do you have a pulse? Have you been through something in your life? Have you been through something that either was bad or was good, or was in this place where you've learned something and you grew from it, and you actually are able to say that I survived it or I triumphed over it? Which is why I talk about Michelle's story about, hey, I started from here. And even though my company decided that I did not, or I am not going to be making the same amount of money because we were too loose with the comp plan, I'm going to decide that even though I feel like a failure, even though I feel like I shouldn't be here, I should be further along, I should have achieved more, I should have been able to give more to my kids, but I can now give to my grandkids. These are stories. Most of you are here, and I'm so sorry, it's only 182 of you in here, because more people need to recognize this. It is that story that brought you here. And if it's not initially that story that got you here, it is why you are allowed to actually see the story, because you got here and you eventually learned the story. And see, the thing about this is you have to understand that people need your story. People, and I'm not, listen, let's preface this right now. I'm not saying that you got to give people every last nitty gritty detail about everything that went wrong in your life, but make it relatable so people can see the I'm so glad. And I'll get to that in a minute, right? You have to be able to let people see you. No, listen to me. Nobody has ever brought a digital product for me, or ever bought a service for me, or ever brought a product for me. Those of you who bought this shirt, do you think they bought this shirt because it looked nice and the outline's amazing and the colors flow nicely with their jeans? No, they bought it because they saw value in me. And it's because of something I took the time to be able to create. They saw that because they value me, they decide, okay, Nick created that. It looks great, but I want it because of who is standing behind it, right? You have to have so much focus on being more valuable to your potential customer, and you be the most valuable to your potential customer by letting them know where you were, where you are now, where you are going, where your goals are, and your willingness to take them with you. Those are the 4 keys: where you were, where you are now, your goals, where you are going, and you intending to take people with you. This is how you lead them through what both myself and Michelle called the know, like, and trust factor. People have to know you. But how can they know you if they never hear about you, if all they hear about is digital marketing? My name is so-and-so. This has automations. This has funnels. This has an amazing community. Buy my stuff. Or isn't every other business or every other creator on social media doing that? Social media is meant for you to, guess what? Be social. What do you do in social situations? You tell people about you. Ever heard of a term called icebreaker? When you create your first video on TikTok, hello, that's an icebreaker. You tell people who you are, where you were, what you're doing now, where you intend to go in the next 6, 9, 12 months, and how great it is to meet them. That's an icebreaker in a social situation, but instead of how great it is to meet them, it's how awesome it would be to learn from you. And you don't have to be the best at presenting the business. You don't have to be the best at knowing how to explain automations and funnels and ChatGPT. You don't need that. You need you. They need you. So literally how this applies is, I am someone, I love starting with this. I was the guy that was confused about where I wanted to be in life. But I know I wanted to be a CEO. I know I was destined for more. So no matter how much my disability could define me, that it could have arrested my destiny, I told myself that I would find the truth. I told myself that through having these ups and downs in network marketing, literally going through and wearing holes in my shoes to be able to try to eke out a living, I found a system that was able to take me to a place that I never had to make a cold call, never had to make another cold email, never had to send a cold DM, but I taught people and I learned the skills to become the hunted instead of the hunter. And this is the thing that I want to do in the next 6 to 12 months. I will teach 10,000 people how to become more relatable, more valuable, more consistent in their business, to 10x their income, to be able to change their lives by learning digital marketing skills so they can become the ones in control of their destiny. Yes, I believe God is my source and everything else is a resource. But if you don't put your hands to making yourself believe that you will believe the outcome long before you see it, it will never come to pass, and you will not be able to translate that across the screen. You have to tell people that this is where I will go. So when I say I will teach 10,000 people to become more relatable, more valuable, more consistent in their content, so they become the hunted instead of the hunter. If you want to take control of your time and your income and your life to live the life you know that God has for you, put ready in the comments, and I would love to share it with you. See, when I tell people where you were. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the chat. Look at what's happening. If it's happening for you, What about the rest of them? If this is what motivates you to put ready in the comments, what do you think is going to change when you go to TikTok or when you go to Instagram or when you go to YouTube? These are the things you have to tell people. And I say this. So let's break down the steps real quick. Where you were. Now, I'm not talking about how you got your diaper changed and your favorite babysitter and the cookies that you ate. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about who you were right before you bought this, right? I was the type of person that, yes, I taught businesses how to run paid ads on Facebook, and I was doing very well at that, but it was not as consistent as I wanted it to be. I still had to be out there running around doing DoorDash, running around doing Uber and Lyft, running around doing all these different things to have consistent income. And I wanted desperately to find out, how do I answer this one question? Because I was still in network marketing. If this is what I am supposed to do, how am I going to get more people into my business to find me? Because I also was the guy, like I said earlier, that was walking around my city trying to go to people's jobs or go to people's malls or go to walk around to meet these people in these little shopping centers to try to look for someone who is keeping their options open to create money. But guys, everybody's looking to make money. Everybody. And not only is everybody looking to make money, everybody's asking other people, are you here to make money? Do you need to make some more money? Yes. Everybody and their dog got a lemonade stand. Everybody and their mama is looking out here to get $500 to $1,000. So how are you different? You ever check to see your thumbprint? There is not another person on this planet that has your thumbprint. There's not another person on this planet that has your story the way you have it in your story. But the truth is, you're not the only one that has your story. The best thing you can realize is that you got to get good at getting people to do this. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. How many times has Michelle talked about this? She gets people in her emails. Tim gets people in his emails. Victoria gets people in the emails. I get people in my emails. Like, you were talking to me. I don't know how you know my life, but you were talking to me. I feel like you know my situation. Yeah, that's me. So that's how you get that first key and you master it. But because you are committed to telling people where you were, about your frustrations, about where you were before you bought this. I was the guy that needed the answer to that question. Where do I get more people? How do I get more people into my business that come look for me, and I don't have to kill myself half to death to find them? Because as a disabled person who couldn't stand for more than 15, 20 minutes, I was on borrowed time. I told the story where I was literally military style crawling to my bathroom because I worked too much the day before or the 3 days before. You know what it's like to be bedridden and not to be able to put pressure on your ankles because you feel like you're walking on water? It's literally where I was. And because of my mentor, Justin, because of Michelle, I was able to answer a 15-year-long question. You have automations and you have a funnel, email list being built. That's creating freedom. That's creating a business without having to set foot outside of your house. But you tell people that you are learning how to do that. So when people ask me, hey, Nick, what do I say? You talk about that. Talk about what you were frustrated about. Talk about what you needed to change. Talk about how you needed that to change and how motivated you were to have that change. And then the next key, which is telling people where you are now. And for the love of everything holy, when you create a piece of content and you get to the second key, smile. Because you just talked about where you were and how frustrated you are. But you are now talking about what you have found, what you are learning, what you are growing from or growing to or growing for. It's not just about your why about your kid. It's about your why as to why you are in this community. Because if you are here, you are breathing rare air, not just because you are a part of the #1 community on the school platform. You are in rare air because you get to promote the most foundational industry, the most powerful industry in the history of mankind. You are breathing rare air here. You have seen what success looks like here. And I'm not talking about the money, because when Amy was able to quit both her jobs and she told me, Nick, for the first time, I was able to cook dinner and actually sit down and eat it and enjoy it. Tell me what's more valuable than that? When you hear people say that they're Tony on vacation with his family, being able to make an income while he is on vacation, creating memories. Yes, he made, what is it, 1,200, but ask me how many times he would give up that same 1,200, how many times over, to be able to get those memories with his family. And listen, man. You know what hit me recently? I went to the gas station and I parked my truck next to the pump like we all do. And I took out the gas pump and I put it inside. And we've all done this. You start the pump and you look at the meter. Don't say you never did it. You look at the meter because you're checking to see that you don't overpump, right? True freedom, because of digital marketing, means that you never have to be concerned about overpumping on your gas. So instead of looking at the actual gas thing, I was able to walk around the other side of my truck while the gas was pumping. And you may not think that it's something to celebrate, but as somebody that put $5 worth of gas to get to work for the week and hope and pray, Jesus, that you make sure to make it back. So excuse me, if I make $50 from my house. That's another misconception we have. Because you're not making $20,000, $30,000, $60,000 a month, that you are somehow less than your best, and you've been here for 4 weeks and you figure that you should be at the top of the mountain. I'm sorry, my friends, but you missed the boat. This is called digital marketing. Where else do we have these expectations? Do you think that your pilot that you're about to get on that next plane for, what would you say if it only took him 3.5 weeks to get his pilot's license? You think you're getting on that plane? I think not. Why do we have these expectations in digital marketing that we're going to get into something and think that tomorrow or next week or 2 weeks from now that we're actually going to be making $10,000? I have a challenge for you, friends. Have you become the person that makes $100,000? Because I guarantee you, Michelle is on here live. She can tell you that she is not the same person that she was on September of 2022. She is the person that has made $100,000 long before she actually made $100,000. You have to understand that delivering that for people is telling people where you are. Don't take this for granted. Listen, I'll be 100% honest. I'm a homeschool dad. I got a business to run outside of this. I got a digital business to run in this. I got coaching calls that come up because of this. And I don't get to always watch the daily video. But every time you let yourself off the hook, it's a little piece that you get to devalue not just your journey in business, but her journey in business. You have to know what you have. And I'm not talking about resale rights, because ever so recently, it was like sandpaper on my eardrums when people only focused on, we're going to buy this course to get Master Resell Rights, to be able to sell a course. We change lives here. And until you allow this process called digital marketing to change your life, it will always be about $300 to $600. Now, listen to me. By God's grace, I have never had my account taken down on TikTok. By God's grace and His grace alone. Why? Because I let it be known that I'm not here to teach you about a dollar amount. I am here to teach you so much more. Because this community, and I'm sorry, but I gotta say this, as much as I value the IPS digital product, the digital growth community has far surpassed that in its value. Oh, is that too real for some of y'all? Is that too real? Think about what we have here. We have literally created $1 million earner, and some of us have watched it. Some of us have watched it from day one. I watched someone I consider my sister from another mister go from zero to hitting me up to talk about how scared she is about this. And out there, she is absolutely Thor smashing this industry. And she hit 100K because it wasn't about the $600 a day. It was about the story she told. It was about the Costco story that makes her cry every time she told it. But every time she told it, and every time a tear welled up in her eyes, 7 people were like, okay, I get it. I gotta know what you know. And that's exactly what we are here to teach you. So people will ask me, now that you tell them where you are, how do we talk about our goals? And let me tell you something right now. If your goal doesn't scare the tarnation out of you, if your family, your friends can go, oh yeah, I can see that happening. I can see you doing that. You need a bigger goal. You need a goal that scares you so much that you have no choice but to commit to the process to achieve it. Because it's not just about what you think you can do. Such as a man thinks, so is he. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Hoped for. Not maybe I could get. Maybe I could see a way to get. No, faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. So your spouse can see you doing that. That's not faith. You could see yourself achieving that goal. That's not faith. You see a way that you could realistically get 3 people or 4 people or 100 people to deliver and change their life. That's not faith. Why do I keep saying I want to teach people 10,000 people to learn this process? Because it scares the tarnation out of me. Because if I get 10,000 people to follow behind me, I'm going to be in my closet with my face down before God like, Jesus, who do I have to become to lead these people? Please give me the wisdom to lead these people. It forces you to be better. Your goals have to force you to be better. Michelle, and you know, I do this winking at you a little bit because you used to tell the story back in the day how you initially had the goal for 1,000 people, but I looked Michelle in the face and I said, we gonna have to try that again, Michelle. We gonna have 10,000 people in here. And her eyes got real wide. She was like, what? It's like, yeah, 100%. Where are we about to be now, ladies and gentlemen? Please tell me where we're about to be now. When I purchased the digital product and I came to this community, I was we were trying to hit 800 people, and now we are over 9,000. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You have to have a bigger goal. You have to stretch your imagination. And for the love of everything that God has for your life, don't just aim for the goal. Shoot through the goal. So if you miss, you will still hit it. This is why when you get on a live stream with Michelle, she will go through, she will say, how much do you need to make a month? And I remember being on a live stream and she said, oh, so just 35? So how about we aim for 4,000? So if you miss your goal, you will still hit 3,500. Guess where you'll be? And she had this big old smile on her face. Process. It reassures the point that you can hit your goal without her even saying a word. Smile. Act like you actually see yourself accomplishing the goal. Because what you don't realize, people say seeing is believing. But here's the truth. We've had that backwards since the beginning of time. Believing is seeing. You have to first believe that something is before you actually see it. So what do you believe about you? What do you believe about what you do here? Or do you believe that what you do here actually solves the problem, actually changes lives? Because let me tell you something. There are people that die. People literally unalive themselves because of the fact that they don't know where to go, what to do, who to turn to, how to get a path out, or to even see a way to possibly conceive that their situation could be better. And this is a shout out to everybody. And I'm going to do this. This is a shout out to everybody that's afraid to create content or go live. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to those people that are sitting in the corner in the dark, crying and praying to God that somebody, anybody, help me to find a way. And then they pick up their phone and they go on social media. And guess who's not there? See, what you have to realize is the trials that you had in life, the successes you have in life, is not for you, but it's for people that you would probably never see, probably never meet, probably never shake hands with, but they will look up to the sky and thank Jesus because they know that their life changed because of you. I was fortunate to see this moment when Carissa came to Michelle's live stream. And I guarantee you, Michelle can't think about her for longer than 10 seconds without welling up. Because of a post, because of Carissa's courage to create a simple post that delivered value. How? Delivered value of something Michelle didn't think that she could accomplish, but that she could learn to accomplish in less than the time that she thinks she could accomplish it. But because of that goal, because of that post, she unwittingly created a millionaire. How many dozens of lives? Think about how many times Michelle has been traipsing through Mexico and been able to influence these people's lives that work there at these resorts that she loves going to. I told you she got an allergic reaction to her living room. We gonna see with this new house, right? But how many lives have changed because Michelle is able to not just impact her life, but impact thousands of other people's lives. When y'all hear me on these webinars, whenever I am trusted to speak, I always end it the very same way. Anybody remember? I always end it the same way. It's not, are you going to make a decision today? Are you going to purchase a digital product today? Right? It's never that. It's the last key. Who are you going to take with you? Show them that I want to take you with me. Right? That's what a CTA is. It is a call to action. But what action are we talking about? We're talking about the action of you taking them with you so they know what you know. That's what that call to action does. But it's twofold. The second thing it does is the irony is I hear all these gurus talking about this how you go viral, that's how you go viral, that's how you go viral, learn these tips to go viral, but I hardly hear anybody at all talking about engagement. What do you mean, Nick? When people like your video, when people comment on your video, when people save or share your video, that's engagement. It's called a qualified view. You leaving a CTA in your content gets someone to comment in your comment section. We do it for Michelle almost every day. Why? Because we see value, because we appreciate her, because she delivers value, because she gives you something that you needed for that day. Please, please, please don't just do it for each other, do it for others. It's how we deliver for people. You want to get more followers? Show up for other people in other industries. Comment, like, and share content that moves you. Put something in the comments that's constructive, that's relatable, that's positive, that when they comment, they see you. Here's a tip from me to you. You know how I decide if I'm gonna follow somebody? I'm gonna go look at their first 4 posts, and I'm gonna comment something positive and constructive in their comments, and I'm gonna save their video, giving them a qualified view. So that's 3 things. That's 3 things I did on that one video. If I do that for 4 videos, that's now 12 notifications that when that person logs into their TikTok, they're gonna be like, wow, this guy is engaged with me. This guy loves my content. And listen to the thing, people love being loved. People love being appreciated, right? So show that appreciation. And guess what? Because you engage with them, the algorithms are going to go, wow, this guy likes her content. So let me show her content to him. But when that person now comes to my profile and say, oh, well, thank you so much for responding, and they start to like and comment on my videos, guess what TikTok's gonna do? They're gonna show my content to that person. So if you do that for an hour every day, you think your engagement's not going to go up? You think your followers are not going to go up? Yes, because you are doing what the platform calls for, right? So back to the CTA. It starts that conversation in your comments. Guys, and this is a little sub-edit here. You see that red button, that video button that they give you when you hit the comment thing? Instead of typing something, do a video. It's a feature that the platform wants you to use, right? Do a video. They push those out too. So when people ask you a question, don't just type the response, do a video, right? But when they put your call to action in the comments, talk to them. Have a conversation with them. I don't know if I shared this on this platform before, Michelle, but in my Facebook days, when I did Facebook Reels, I did something called a remix. What TikTok does terms as duet. I did one with the young lady who was at a barbecue, and the simple, laughable concept of the video was a certain sect of people don't season their food really well, right? And y'all know what I'm going to. This is a public platform, this recorded, so I'm not going to really put it out there like that. If y'all want to know about that, see me after this, right? But I put the title over my head. This is why I don't eat from any and everybody, right? And if you really think about it, everybody believes that. That's how everybody is. You don't eat from any and everybody because you don't know where your pot been or where your spoon's been. You don't know what goes on in their kitchen, so you probably won't. But listen, I had people from varying stretches of that spectrum. People that hated me because I was talking about a certain race of people, which I didn't even say anything. I didn't even say anything. But they made me the bad guy. Like, oh, you're being a racist because you're talking about this, that, and the third. And I had people on the other side talking about, man, you ain't telling nothing but the truth because I can't stand when somebody don't season their food. And you had, listen, me and my wife had this running joke like, honey, I need to make some more money. So I'm gonna go start a fight. I would go literally comment in the thread and people, they would go up. And I would literally make $25 off of one comment. Because back then off the Reels Pay bonus program, they actually paid you for views. And every time you commented, more people would engage with the piece of content. I literally made, well, to date, before they stopped the Reels Pay bonus program, I made $250 off of that one video. One video. I was in the video, but didn't say anything in the video, but because of the story that I told. And this is the thing, y'all gotta stop this mess about somebody gonna judge me. Look at this face. You think people ain't judge me? Stop with that. We don't coddle insecurities here. You're a CEO. It's time for you to step up, right? We don't cater to insecurities here, right? People will judge you. People will talk bad about you. People will be mean to you. But at the end of the day, that bill will come to your house. So are you going to create content or are you scared? And like, anybody ever seen Biker Boys? You about that ride or you scared? Right? Who's going to pay your bills? That rent check gonna still have to be there. And either you do it or you don't. I love this artist named Andy Mineo. He said, you got two choices, make moves or make excuses. So what you gonna do? You still have to deliver, right? And I 100% get it. We all need to make money. We all have bills to pay. We all got rent to pay. We all got kids to feed. We all got a life to get. But when you feel that pressure, when you feel that tightness in your belly, when you feel that anxiety about can I, will I, could I make a sale, I don't want you to focus on making a piece of content to get $600 a day. I want you to focus on how can I be more valuable? How can I be so valuable that people just go, pick a card, any card? Is that it? Is that all? Listen to me. The biggest thing you could ever learn from Michelle's journey is this. It is the confidence while being inconfident. I can't even tell, well, I could, but I won't because, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep that between us, right? So many times I have seen her second guess certain moments along this journey. I have literally seen Michelle break down because she felt like she was being questioned about how well she's delivering for this community. And I remember we had an incident last year, the first incident on our webinar. She was absolutely destroyed for days on end. And I texted her and I said, this moment doesn't define you. You remember that? And I told her, I said, listen, we know who you are. We know what you're about. So have confidence in that and let's move forward. Right? So don't sit up there and think that she has never lost confidence. Even in this moment right now, y'all think I don't get scared? Y'all think I don't feel apprehensive like Jesus? What I'm gonna say to these people? Because I'm gonna put this out here because I love y'all and we family. But if you attended last week's training, it was really similar to what I'm talking about today, right? And I was like, God, Amy talked about this, all this amazing stuff. How am I gonna top that? Because it had a lot to do with what I'm talking about today. And I had apprehensions like, God, what am I going to say to these people? How am I going to deliver value to these people? But I focused on doing just that. I watched, I listened, and I paid attention, and come in here with the mindset of being more valuable to you. So I just don't want to be the guy that gasses you up and the guy that makes you feel like you can do anything, but I want to give you real life actionable steps to take so you can go deliver for you. And I'm going to address this in this last thing and we'll go to questions, right? This find your perfect customer. Guys, both myself and Michelle and every other quote unquote big person in here has said this. Your perfect customer is you. Every time. It's not some mystical figure that you got to go chase on TikTok or chase on Instagram or chase on YouTube or play Where's Waldo to find your sale. No. Talk to you. What would you say to you if you could go back and you knew that person's insecurities, you knew what you focused on? Talk to you, knowing where you are now. Every time you hit record, talk to you, because every person, and for me, it's a smidge different. I talk to me, but you know what I add to this? 6 months before I found this, my father passed away. A year before that, he begged me. And listen, I'm Trinidadian, which means I'm also Caribbean. Any Caribbean people in here will be able to tell you how much it takes for a Caribbean man to beg for anything. He begged me. He said, son, I'm tired of working. I'm tired of breaking my body down. I'm tired of waking up early in the morning. I'm tired of doing this and working 14 hours a day and not getting anywhere further in life. I want to do more. Please, son, help me do something online. I see you doing stuff online. Please, son, help me. Literally a year and a half later, he died. He died before I found this. So every time I get on a video or I get on a live stream, every person that comes across my desk is my father. Every person. Because I don't know where they're going to be in 6 months. But I know, because we don't have yesterday, we don't have tomorrow, we don't yet have next week, but what we do have is today. And what we can do today is be committed to change. So again, like I said, and like how I end every time I speak, it's not about you making this decision to change. It's not about you choosing to be more valuable and more relatable and more consistent in your content to deliver, but it's about who and whose life you can change by being more relatable, by being more valuable, by being more consistent. It's always about who is waiting on you to change. So guys, I hope this was a big help to you. I hope this was a blessing to you. But please go out there in social media and teach people how to promote anything using social media. Remember that, guys. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Thank you.
Nicholas, you're amazing. Wow, this is so good. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the comments, but yeah, people are fired up. So does anybody have any questions for Nicholas? Do you have a little bit of time to answer some questions?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to end right around 9, so I give y'all till 9:30 and we could do this.
Well, Carol has a question. Carol, you should be able to unmute, my friend.
Okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Nicholas. That was very good.
Thank you.
You were talking about finding your perfect customer, and I'm 81 years old, and I was always a stay-at-home mom. And so my husband was the breadwinner. Now, he passed away almost 7 years ago and did leave me with some things, but not enough. I have longevity in my background. My mother was 102 when she died. Her parents were in the 80s when they died, in the 1960s, which was like 100 then. My dad was 98. His mother was 102. So I really feel like I've got 20 or 25 more years to go because I'm very
Wow.
healthy also. No guarantees,
Uh-huh.
of course. But
Right.
so the little bit that I have, I'm going through. I am depleting my savings, and I don't have a retirement fund. I don't have a stock portfolio. I don't have any of that. So I see my accounts dwindling, dwindling, dwindling. And I've been searching for years online. And in fact, I've been online, a YouTube channel and Instagram since 2009. But
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
know there was a strategy to it. I
Mhm,
I was just posting random stuff. So now
mhm,
I found this, and I have gotten so much hope because I really feel like this is going to be it for me. All
mhm,
that said, I've been in 1 month today, and I have
mhm.
209 followers. However, of those 209, probably 5% are legitimate people. 75% are random guys following and that I always block. I was deleting them, but then I thought, well, maybe I better leave them on there just for the count. So then I
Mhm,
decided to block them. And then maybe the rest of the 20 some percent are other digital
mhm.
marketers. And
Right.
so I'm not quite sure where to go. I don't know really if what my story is. Other I'm help retayees earn a passive income. That's basically what I've been, doing there. So
Right.
I see somebody, what's her name? Helena, saying the same thing there. Um,
Mhm,
so 5-second videos also, I can't do lives yet. And I'm trying to get so much information in, and I'm talking fast, in 5 seconds, because my analytics are telling me that 5 seconds is all they're watching, basically.
Well,
So I don't know,
here.
what feedback can you give me for all of that?
So here, literally the answer to your question is what I've done in the last hour,
Yeah, okay.
right?
Yeah,
Because this is and I say that respectfully and with all the love, right? Because I want you to know something. I want everybody to listen to what I'm about to say. You are enough. You are fortunate and blessed by God enough to have the powerful story of being, what did you say, 81 years young?
yeah.
Talk like I wholeheartedly believe this. You will literally get thousands of people by just telling that story. I am in my 80s and still have hope to be able to deliver for people like me. And not even people like me, because you're going to listen, you get your message down as far as your story, and you'll be attracting people from any age. But here's your story, your life. That's what you do every single day. I talk about, and I didn't quite get to this in the training, but one of the most powerful things I teach people is I'm so glad you asked, right? You tell your story, tell people where you were before you did this, where you are now that you're doing this, where you're planning to go as you do this, and give people the invite to come with you by doing a CTA. And people will wonder, what do you do exactly? And that's when you go, I am so glad you asked. And they put a CTA, because listen to me, my sister, you are unstoppable. You just have not seen it yet.
Thank you.
And I'm telling you, and it's the very first time I've met you, but listen to me. You, my sister, are unstoppable. I wish I had as powerful as a story. You have lived on God's earth for 81 years and you're still coming out here swinging.
Yeah, for sure.
Get people there. That's my answer.
Okay.
Get people there. And then they'll learn about automations, and then they'll learn about emails, and then they'll learn how to build an email list, and then they'll learn how digital marketing works. But you have what many of us in this community, only a select few of us in this community, have a similar story, that you're in your 80s. Listen, I could tell that story tomorrow, and I promise you by the end of the week, somebody gonna be knocking down my door. Like, I want to meet her. I don't know who she is, where you found her, but I want to meet her. I want to see it for myself. And that's when I go, I'm so glad you asked. You are enough, my friend. Go out there, Carol, and deliver your story.
Okay. Thank you, Nicholas.
You're welcome.
All right, PJ's next.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, PJ, what's going on, my man?
Hey, can you run down the 4 things for me again? I'm sorry, I stopped taking notes because I got caught up in the speech instead. So can you just run me down the 4 things?
Well, first, I appreciate that, but yeah, I'll run through those for you. Is where you were before you bought this,
Okay.
right? Where you were, and your frustrations, your focus, the goal that you wanted to achieve, what you were frustrated about not achieving. Where you are now is the second key, right? Where you are now, what you're learning, right? How you're growing, how this has impacted you positively, right? The third is your goal. What are your goals over the next 6, 9, 12 months? And if I will do this, right? Such as the man thinks, so is he. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen, right? I will achieve this goal, right? So you tell people where you're going, your goals. And finally, you invite people through your CTA to come on your journey with you, right? So those are the 4 keys. And you talk about the fact that if you want to get what it is you have gotten, you PJ, what you have gotten from this, if you want that and you want more time, more income, and more consistency in your life, put yes in the comments, and I'd love to share it with you. And you can smile with that.
Yep, I got you.
Right?
Appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Okay, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for this wonderful teaching this night. We really appreciate it. My question is, before I go here, I was promoting like the roadmap and other courses, right? But I was really, really struggling with creating content. So when I go here, I have opportunity to learn different way, like posting ads, right? So I'm really doing good with that, but sometimes going live is still scary, and I'm trying to get people to know that like you don't have to be afraid of creating content. If you are afraid, there's another way for you, but it's kind of hard getting it out there. So I'm trying to, like, am I doing it right? Am I doing the right thing, telling people you can copy and paste and still also want to do more? If you have any idea that I can reach people through that, go. I'll be I'll be happy.
So first, before we get to that question,
Yeah.
You're not struggling, right?
Right now,
I
I was struggling.
well, no. Hear me when I say this, right?
Okay.
And I want all of the digital growth community. We might have to make that illegal to say in this community. You're
Okay.
not struggling. You are learning. How long you been doing this?
A year with the
A
other
year,
products. Yeah.
right?
But here I'm
But
barely a month.
right. So
Mhm.
in either case, because if you're going to university, how long would it take you to graduate?
Oh, 4 years.
Right.
Um,
And even at 4 years, would you have mastered your career?
no.
Even listen, I forgot what author it was. Y'all can put it in the chat for me. Who was said it literally take 1,000 hours of consistently doing something in order to become a master. So that's why I say you're not struggling, you're learning, right? You're learning to create content. But and you know, I'm gonna take a second to do this, but what not what, but why have you chosen to do ads versus creating content?
Because I know I'm not too good in creating content. I
Why?
sometimes I scramble when I'm talking. So it affects my video. People view it, but they don't engage. So I feel I have to do more, but I didn't know how to like change that situation.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one of my mentors says that Justin says, you don't have business problems, you have personal problems that reflect in your business. So I ask you this question. When you were a child and you were learning to walk, did you fall?
Mm-hmm.
So, and even when you didn't fall as much and you got really good at walking, have you ever fallen as an adult, like you slipped and fell?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking you slip and do the whole catch your thing, like catch yourself when you slip. I'm talking about as an adult, you fell,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
legitimately hit the ground, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But this is the thing I'm trying to get at here. You have to be bad before you can be good,
Okay.
before you can be great,
Oh, yeah.
right? You
Yes.
cannot expect that you've been creating content for a year and kind of sort of going on camera, kind of sort of putting yourself out there, kind of sort of stepping out there, and then not, and think that you're going to be good at creating content. Being good is a process, right? I've been doing this, I've been creating content on camera, online since 2015, right? And I still have a lot of room to improve.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You never stop learning. You never stop growing. But what we got to stop doing is stop holding ourselves back. Right?
Yeah.
It's not that you can't create content or you're not good at creating content, is that you're not consistently committed to the process of getting better at creating content. And I say that with all the love and respect because you can't hope to have mastered a skill without first falling or failing at it. We have to stop thinking that failure is not a part of success. It is a vital part of success because you learn more from failure than you do from success. So you have to trust, and I like that Tim said this, trust the process. You got everything you could need here.
Yeah.
everything you could
I
need
love
here.
it in here. I love it in here. You are not alone. The other program, when you buy, they leave you so alone. You have to struggle by yourself. And I just love it here. And things are going great. Before, I couldn't even come on live before I got here. But I'm starting doing live and I'm seeing progress. My funnel is growing, and that is a great opportunity for me as well.
Congratulations. But
Thank you.
I ask you, have you ever told that story in a video on a live?
Yes, I do tell.
How often though?
Oh, I've
See?
been live just 3 times because
But
last few
just in
weeks,
your videos.
okay, just do video. I've not done video with this story yet.
Then I
I
would go
just do
tonight
live.
and do that.
Mhm.
Because God, okay, I'm glad you said that. Because guys, I
Yeah.
want you to see something. If you do just lives, you're taking a lot of your audience out of your marketing. Creating videos on social media is how social media, it is the gas in the engine of social media. So by you just doing live, for all of my ex-race fans out there who ran around racing cars and stuff, live streams are the supercharger to your marketing, but your videos are the gasoline in the engine that is your marketing strategy. And if you don't create videos, or you don't create relatable videos by telling the story you just told, it has to be that, where you use these 4 content keys to tell your story, to be able to, on video, right? And listen, we could get into a long debate about 5 second, 7 second, 10 second, 3 minute, 30 minute, whatever it is. You need to have these things into place. You got your hook, you got the 4 keys, and you're delivering your message, and you be consistent. That's the formula. You got more than what I think it's like up to 400 hooks total. Pick one and tell your story. And use these 4 content keys. And I guarantee you will see improvement. Cool?
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for
You're
your help.
welcome.
We appreciate. Yeah.
All right, Helen, you're next.
Elena, me? Oh, okay. I just wanted to tell a funny story here in a dress Carol situation because I'm 66. Michelle, all week I've been recording videos and deleting them. I haven't had the courage to actually do one. And every time I got in front of that phone, and I don't have a phone stand, I would just lose it. And it's like, I know I can do this. I know I can do this. Something like I wrote on the message, sometimes you got to jump in the pool to learn to swim. Well, I did my first video today, and I don't know how to cut and edit. I mentioned that, but it was a cluster, you know what. But I got across a lot of messages. I'm actually getting a lot of likes right now. But I told people that this was my first video. And I said, I'm going to fumble through this. And I don't know how to edit yet to cut out the bloopers. So they're going to be in there. And I just went through it. And, the thing I really talked a lot about was the community.
Right.
Because that was another cluster last week. I could not get my domain to work. And Nicole looked at it for a second and said it would take some time. And then she got cut off on the internet. And I don't know if you know Alfredo. I had put it out in the community. This is how strong this community is. I don't know this guy. I think he's in California. Okay, he looked at it, and people were telling me it's the DNS. And I was on the video talking about this, and I said, I don't know DNS from DNA, and not tech savvy. And he fixed this thing for me in 4 minutes. I don't even know this person. He did a screen share, and he actually fixed it in about 4 minutes. So the community's strong. But as far as doing a video, Carol, just jump in and do the video first before you do the live. And I found a way to do it to get over my fear, and it worked. I used the bathroom mirror and medicine cabinet. I put my phone in the medicine cabinet. I had stickies on the wall in the medicine cabinet. And I just went about like usual, doing my makeup and my hair while I was talking. And that really helped. And you know what? Once it was done, Carol, I found a new confidence in doing another and doing a live. And I've never did TikTok before. So just do one. And if you fumble through it, so what? People will love you for being real.
100%.
That's about all I have to say.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing. Harley, you are next, my friend.
I just wanted to give everyone a little bit of inspiration. I've been here since August, and I've not made what we call a sale yet, but I want to say this. I have created extra streams of income, and I have covered my course with the education that I was given. Look at it like that. And I'm very grateful for every single one of you being here on this journey. Keep up the good work. I don't have any questions.
Thank you, Harley.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you, sis.
All right, Jennifer.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. First of all, I want to say thank you, Nick. Really enjoyed your instruction tonight. Thank you, Michelle, for all you do. So the question I have is, I've been on your lives, Michelle. I've been on your lives, Nick, and I listen. And everybody keeps talking about on your TikTok how long people stay on and all that. But one of the things, and I'm getting to the question, you'll see it in a minute, but one of the things I've noticed though is Michelle has gone back and showed videos that she did in March, that have now this year, made her a lot of money. So the
Right.
question I'm at is, when I'm making a video, I don't do this with all of them, but sometimes, like today, I was really passionate and I had something to say, and I didn't worry about how long my video was. I think it was actually, I put it on the 10 minutes, and I think it was actually 3 minutes and something. But the question I have is, if you're putting out content, if you're giving your message, should you really at that point worry about how long it is? I'm not saying all of them, but sometimes,
Right.
when you're putting out that message, like you said, Nick, when you're telling your story with 4 parts, past, present, future, where you're going, and taking them along with
Right.
you.
Right.
When you're giving that story and message, I'm not saying you can't bust it down to a minute. I know Michelle was doing a teaching on it today, but for us newbies who are learning to perfect that,
Right.
so the question I'm getting at is, should we worry about that if you're saying something?
Right.
Because
So,
it may not do anything this year, but a year from now, 10,000 people may see it and be like,
Right. So I'm really glad you asked this question, and I appreciate you finding value tonight. So thank you so much for saying that. But I'm glad you asked this, because there is a great many schools of thought on this. But the one thing I gravitate to is that it does matter how long it is, but what we as creators have to remember, especially using TikTok, is that they're calling for longer videos, right? They're calling for longer videos. They're calling for more than a minute for the creator beta program, right? So that's a monetization program, but they're asking people to create longer videos, like anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, right? 1 to 3 to maybe 5 minutes. Why? Because TikTok is wanting to compete with YouTube and Google, right? They want their content being searchable on TikTok or searchable on Google, but they also want their content and their creators to create videos that can be watched on TV, right? So they want to, and at the end of the day, every social media platform wants their users to stay on the platform longer, right? But there's a caveat here, because I myself am long-winded. Those of you who know me and love me, you know I can get long-winded sometimes, right? And I can go off on tangents like Michelle does sometimes, right? But here's the thing. Michelle talks about this enough. We got to take the so what's out, right? And if you don't know what the so what's are, she has done a lot of training on what the so what's are. So go back in the classroom and figure out what the so what's are. But you want to keep it, even though you're telling your story and you're being valuable by telling people about how what you went through relates to what you do now, you want to make sure and keep an eye out for the so what's, right? So go through your video. Like when you record your video, go through and find any part of your video that does not really point back to what you do now and how it can benefit the person watching, right? That's how I judge what's a so what, right? Because we're not going to talk about, what flavor of coffee you had because it was just your favorite flavor and spend 15 seconds on that. That's a so what, right? You want how that part of your story, how it relates to what getting the person that's watching to understand why you do what you do now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So TikTok wants longer form videos. So if you can do a minute video, do the minute video. If you have a shorter story to tell, but if you're telling a strong message and it takes you 3 or 4 minutes, right? Like y'all will notice my content is longer than 90 seconds, right? I have 4 or 5 minute videos, but I am delivering my story related to what I do now and taking people on that journey right now, right? So that's the example I will give you. I hope it helps, my friend.
Yep. Thank you.
Awesome.
Cool.
Chris?
Oh, let me move myself.
Hey Nick, thank you so much for tonight. That was truly just amazing.
Thank you, brother.
So many different nuggets that you can just literally just focus and just truly amazing. So one of my biggest questions is with the whole being relatable, people to know, like, and trust you. So part of my story is, it's kind of like you with your dad. Like I lost my dad, 10 years ago, and my life after that just spiraled. I went down a really dark path, and we're not going to get into the details, but is that something, because that is like so much of my story up to about 6 years or so ago, is that something I should incorporate into the whole aspect of my story? Because with the whole dark path I went down, it's one of those things, like, people have a tendency to not really want to know or like, or especially trust that specific, type of situation, because it's just dark.
Right.
Now, granted, it's obviously not that way now. It's been on the better side for 6 years, and but I guess, like, my big thing now is, I've just, I say, I'm a struggling construction worker, which is 100% factual, who's just been scared of a layoff. And so I just feed into that. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that can relate to that. but there's also a lot of people that, you know, that's their job. That's what they love doing anyway.
Right.
That's all that they know, and that's what they intend to do. So
Right.
I guess my big question is, you know, because I have so much more of a story, depending on, you know, regardless of what it is that something I should still just kind of incorporate a little here and a little there to get more, you know, people, little nuggets of my life where it was,
Right.
where I've changed and what I'm doing?
Absolutely. And here's the observation I made just now. Like, more often than not, when we do these Q&A portions, you guys literally come up with videos. Like, I wish we could just edit it down and give it to y'all, because that's a video right there. 100% that's a video. Why? Because that's you. I was telling a student today, like, it doesn't matter if it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or 20 years ago. Everything you have been through informs your life today. And it's what God brought you through in order to get you where He needed you to be today. So, why wouldn't that be valuable? Because we have this misconception that God only brought us through that situation.
Right.
And as terrible as the situation might have been, as terrible as that moment or that season was, it literally will find other people who have gone through the same situation or worse that go, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. And that's the idea, that you want people to know that no matter where you were, no matter what you were going through, no matter what trial you were trying to overcome, I know where you were because I was there. And because I was there, see, people like to say, I don't accept handouts. But what we deliver in digital marketing is a hand up. Because like I said earlier in the training, God takes us through these trials and triumphs that we have, but it's not just for us. It's for the people that we will meet, to not just bring Him glory, but to show them that they can relate. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, listen, my mentor was an ex-felon. I'm not a felon or ex-felon, but I related to him because he told me the truth. And he said, I wanted to know that I can do this. And I wanted a consistent path to get to where I needed to go. And now that I've found that, you can come too. So I challenge you, my friend. Don't be afraid to share your story. And like I said, I'm not saying give people every last detail of what happened, right? That's why I trust the Holy Spirit to lead me in what to say and how much to say, right? But you share with people exactly what they need to know to understand you are not where you were, but you're not done yet. And if you want to see how the story continues, follow me.
That's good.
Make sense?
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
That was so good.
Thank you.
So good. Okay, Alan.
Hi, Michelle, and hi, Nicholas. Alan from Philippines. Actually,
Hello.
I've been in IPS last July 2022. You know, I started IPS again because I lost a lot of money. Just sharing my story first. So,
Sure.
in construction business, so it make me depressed, and yeah. And when I'm promoting IPS again last November, someone told me that, did you know Michelle? I told her, who is Michelle? And this lady replied to me that Michelle earned 712,000 in IPS. Really? Then, then what I did is I researched Michelle and I found out her in YouTube, and she is doing she posted a webinar, and I told her how I can get inside the community, and someone messaged me and show instruction how to get inside the community. So I joined under him again, so I get inside, and I because of this community, I earned a huge money. I work in New Zealand last year, and 10 to 12 hours per day. And my salary is not enough because of my traditional business. I borrowed a lot of money, right?
Right.
So I want to get out on that, and I'm really thankful in this community. And I'm just using Facebook promoting this one. So because inside the community there is a training on TikTok, they said TikTok is, it's a really good way to promote because a lot of people see on the video, because on Facebook, I think it's only follower who can see my post, right? So before I discovered this community, what I did on my TikTok is like this, I just buy follower from Upwork.com to make it like 1,000 first, because I don't know that you can go live to have a follower, right? So my question for you, Nicholas, is do you think I need to continue this TikTok account, or I need to make a new one?
So here's how I'm gonna answer that. And I know, and listen, if you bought followers before, don't take this the wrong way. But guys, please, 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 never buy followers. Never. And I'll explain to you why. But to answer your question, I suggest you start a new TikTok. But here's why. This is how the algorithms work. When you create a video, right, they share it to 10% of your follower base, right? The people that follow you, right? And people that you engage with, right? They share that to 10% when you first put it out, right? And then if it gets enough likes, gets enough comments, gets enough shares, gets enough saves, that you move to the second round. And then they share it to a bigger portion of your audience, of your followers, right? And some, couple to the For You page. But the second, if it gets more likes, more comments, more shares, then you actually get pushed to that third round, where they give it to a higher percentage of your followers, but a drastically higher percent of the For You page. So it can probably be about 60-40, 60% of your followers, and then 40% of the For You page, right? But then if it does well and gets more likes, more comments, more saves, more shares, they share it to a higher percentage of the For You page. But if your video kept going through these processes that get more likes, more comments, more shares, what is that? It's literally what we call going viral. And you can't get past these levels of the algorithms testing your video if you've bought followers, because bought followers don't engage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They have no reason to, they have found no value. You're just a random person that they followed, but they're not going to engage in your content. And if they don't engage in your content, the algorithms won't push your content. This is why there's no such thing as a 200 to 300 view jail, right? Why we know that is because if you get enough people to like, comment, save, and share your videos, it will be pushed by the algorithms. That's exactly how people go viral, right? Because the value of engagement when you buy followers is never there. So the worst thing you can do is buy followers. Create value. Be more valuable in your content. Give, right? Give back to fellow creators inside your industry and outside your industry, right? By liking, commenting, and sharing something positive in the comments so that they engage in your content, right? And if you keep doing that, like I'll share this with you, like I did the whole grow room thing at the beginning of growing my main account, right? And I recovered from that because people that resonate with me probably won't come from those rooms, not all of them, right? Maybe 1% of those people found value in my content, but I was able to combat that mistake by being more valuable, by being more relatable, by sharing and giving back to fellow creators in my industry and sharing with other creators outside of my industry that related to me, that moved me. And I was able to get an additional 300 followers just by doing that and engaging with more people on TikTok. Engagement is the key. And I've been teaching this since 2015. So please, if you want to be successful at this, you have to understand how to deliver value in your content, but you also have to understand, and it's a biblical concept, give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men pour into your bosom. Give in your marketing, and people will give to you. Make sense?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also thank you, Michelle. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the community.
You're very welcome, my friend. Love your energy and so glad you're here. That's awesome.
Let's go.
Yes. Okay, Kara.
Hi. Okay, I'm gonna start the little video thing. Okay, there you go. Okay, I just want to know if I'm like doing things right, I guess, if that makes sense. I guess I don't know what to expect. I just started on, let's see, I bought the blueprint last Monday, so I feel like I'm very new. But I got stuff on TikTok, whatever, posted, and my first couple videos got 600 to 1,000 views and some comments. And then after that, it kind of dropped to like 70, which is fine, you know, but I just don't know if I should switch up my content or keep doing what I'm doing. I am telling my story and my stuff. I am. And I've mentioned, I'm a teacher, so I mentioned that I've just felt stuck and burnt out and done and drained, and have told just different stories of, you know, coming home from work and, you know, getting on the couch and just don't even have energy to, you know, lift a dish, you know, and clean and just that, and different stories and stuff like that. So I just wanted to know if it's too soon to change things up. I guess if that makes any sense.
So, and I love that you brought this up. And first, thank you so much for your service. My wife is a teacher as well, so I have a special place in my heart for teachers. So thank you so much for your service. It means the world to the rest of the world, so thank you. But also, you said you bought last Monday?
I did.
Congratulations. So I'm curious though, the ones that got 600 to 1,000 views, were those the ones that you were talking about not being able to lift the dish and coming home, you know, burnt out and tired and all? Are those that one that is one and the same?
They're all the same thing, basically said in a different way. So they're all, I talk about that in all of them.
So with that said, my friend, I have two words for you. And it's something that plagues the biggest creators on the planet, right? they get exactly where you are, especially when they've had massive success with getting a certain type of content or a certain range of content out, right? And then for whatever reason you do something a slightly bit different and it doesn't work. But here's the secret we all as creators, big or small, need to understand. Double down. If social media shows you and your audience shows you that they resonate with a message or resonate with a certain type of content, the way you do it, I know y'all have heard this saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
So just keep doing.
Double down.
So just keep doing what I'm doing.
So you have to also take this into context, right? Where is this a TikTok account that you just started it, or you've been had this TikTok account?
I just started it on Friday.
Just started on Friday. So here's something I want you to consider, right? Your first video will do very well because TikTok loves pushing brand new accounts. But you will have had a couple more videos do quite well, in my opinion, for a new account. So I will still recommend you doubling down. Use the 4 keys, tell your story as a teacher, where you are, where you were, where you are, where you intend to go, and inviting people to come on the journey with you by adding that CTA, right? Double down. Because we have a tendency to second guess ourselves. And my friend, you are less than 2 weeks in this business.
Yeah, I'm not even a week.
Okay, so you're less than 7 days in this business.
Yeah.
This is digital marketing. This is a learning process, my friend. Give yourself some grace.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
We got all the tools you need here. We have all the mentors you need here. Give yourself some grace. Tell your story, stay consistent, stay valuable, and continue pushing. And before you know it, you'll have the outcome you seek.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everything you said. I thought everything you said was very inspirational and helpful. And I can tell you love the Lord and seek to serve him. And I love that. I'm a Christian and I love that. So thank you.
Thank you. God bless you, sis.
God bless you too.
All right, so we have iPhone. You don't have any name, we just have iPhone.
I wonder whose iPhone, that's the question.
I don't know.
You can go ahead and unmute.
He is unmuted.
All right.
Who's
What's your
that?
question? Hey.
Oh, is it on? I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were calling my name. So, hi, Michelle and Nick. My question is, I'm a very, how do you say it? I'm a very laid back person, very kind of relaxed. So when I do my video, it's tough for me to show, especially when I want to try to speak without stuttering or, or doing the stuff like that. So I'm noticing when I'm doing my videos, I'm very kind of like monotone, and I'm having trouble, trying to bring an energy level. And I'm wondering if you think that might come across, because I'm not getting like a lot of engagement in my videos and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if you think that may be affecting, my videos.
So, and I'm glad you asked this, but when you talk in your videos, do you talk like you're talking now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think I do.
so. So,
well, I'm probably more. I mean, I'm probably more focused, on not on trying to think of what I'm saying and stuff like that. So I'm probably a little more. I don't have the energy that I have now, I don't think, because I'm to like focus. So I would say I'm a little more flatlined when I'm doing it.
Like more level.
Right.
So it's funny because a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks now, Michelle posted something in the group and she asked, what is that song that gets your energy up, gets you amped, right? Like, what is that song for you? And everybody chimed in because everybody thought it was fun because they get to put their favorite song up there. So my question to you is this, and I hate to answer a question with a question, but what excites you?
What excites me? Well, helping other people excites me. I've always, at one point in my life, I was trying to become a life coach. So I always been in a field where where I'm trying to serve others and help others.
Right, and that's a very respectable goal to go after. But here's where I pull out what I like to call the emotional shovel, right? Beyond helping people and impacting the world, why? Why do you want to do that?
Why do I want to do that? Well, I want to help myself first, so I guess I want to better my own situation. So
what's your situation?
I'm a 23-year blue collar worker. Had a heart attack in Memorial Day that just passed. Widowmaker. I almost died. So thank you. No, I survived, and I discovered personal development. I want to say about 10 to 12 years ago. Before that, I kind of was under the impression that I was stupid, and I was stuck where I was in my job. After I discovered personal development, I had a mind shift, and I realized that I could do other things. I started a blog. That's when I started trying to do the life coaching. But my problem has always been getting in my own way. I had shiny object syndrome, so I was always starting something, and I really could never focus. This is the first time in my life, I don't know if it had to do with the heart attack. The program is amazing also, but it's the first time in my life that I really feel like I can focus on something, and I've doubled down and I'm able to focus. So now I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. It's okay, because this is right where I needed to come in. But I saw something and I want to take you through it right now. So imagine this, right? And you had that moment of having a heart attack. So I'm gonna take you there real quick. So in that moment, right, when you looked down that dark hallway and you knew there was a very strong possibility you could die, right? Put yourself back there and what you felt in that moment, right? Put yourself there. And you have gotten to that point where you're seeing the end of the road, but you see the wherever you are, it starts to be very bright outside. And you get through this feeling of, okay, well, I don't have another chance now, right? And then you're being escorted by an angel to say, okay, now it's your time. But instead of you being taken on the glory, you get to go back a year from that point, a year before this happened, right? And you saw yourself making those same mistakes of not taking stock of your life to be able to take advantage of the opportunity you know you will eventually have. Does that make you upset? Like, when you face that moment that you know that day you would have that heart attack, but you go back and you are allowed to see that version of you. What's your name, sir?
Danny.
Dan. Okay, hey Dan, nice to meet you.
You
So
too.
you see Dan from a year before your heart attack, and you see him wasting his life, and you see him wasting his opportunity. What do you say to Dan a year before your heart attack? Like if you were to have a real come to Jesus moment with Dan about life, what would you say to him?
A year before that, you're saying a year before the heart
Yeah,
attack?
you have been given the opportunity to go from that moment of realizing that your life is about to be over, but you get to go back to a year before the heart attack. But you see Dan wasting his life, but you know God gave you the opportunity to go back to speak to him. What would you say to him?
I would say you need to get out of your own way. You need to stop, you know, you need to focus it because you're better than, you know, what you've been doing. I've always been my own worst enemy. Because I know I have the potential to be successful in life, but I've always, for whatever reason, had like the shiny object syndrome and just did not know how to focus, and I would always get frustrated way too easily and give up too soon.
Right. But like I said, what would you say to him? Knowing that he's wasting his life, knowing that he's getting in his own way, knowing that in a year from the moment that you're speaking to him, that you will have a devastating heart attack. What would you say to him, knowing that you know that moment is coming? What would you say to him?
I'd say the time is now. I'm never good with these things. I don't know what I should be saying, honestly.
No, but no, I don't. There's no right answer here. I want you to have an honest answer with yourself, right? What, like you said, the time is now, but I hope when you watch this back, you see how your face changed, right? When it hits you for all of 2 seconds, that you need to understand that the time is now. Like I said before, you do not have yesterday. You do not have tomorrow because you have not been granted that yet. But what God has given you is right now. And because in this fictitious example, you get to actually go back and say, look, your time is running out. You need to do something different now. You need to get out of your own way now. I like the way Michelle phrased it. Like, if do you have kids?
Yes, I have a son.
So how old's your son?
23.
23. If your 23-year-old son was walking with his friends and he all of a sudden decides to step off the curb, but he doesn't see an SUV barreling down the road, how would you get his attention? Would you say, what's your son's name?
Thomas.
Would you say, hey, Tom, you might want to look to your left, there's a truck coming? Or would you project your voice and say, hey, Tom, get out of the way?
Yeah, I'd scream pretty loud.
Exactly. Because you are literally trying to save his life. Every time you record a video, every time you do a live stream, every time you step into the public square, you have the ability to save someone's life. Right? And notice, and this is not me trying to play up on the moment here, and I say this with all humility, but I'm not yelling or screaming now, but the moment is just as powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Hmm.
It's not always about the volume in which you say something, but the gravitas behind what you're saying. Right?
Yeah.
That's how you become more relatable. That you share, yes, this is where I have been. I have gotten in my own way. I've gotten in front of myself. I too had shiny ball syndrome, but I am so glad I found a system in digital marketing to teach me concepts, to teach me things that will get my business, but not just my business, but my life in a better state. And I have a path to achieving the goals that I want. And this is what I'm committing to show you, because I can get you to where I am because I know what it's like to be where you are. You see how I did that?
Hmm.
I didn't necessarily raise my voice to do the whole ET or Les Brown thing, but it was just as powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how you deliver. That's how, just be you. Dan, I tell everybody this because it begs repeating. You are enough. And I think that's why you had shiny ball syndrome and why you self-sabotage and get in your own way, because you doubted yourself. You doubted your ability. You doubted who God has created you to be. The Bible says, Dan, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, which means the creator of this universe took his time to craft your eyes, to craft your ears, to literally make his mark on your soul.
Amen.
So go out there and walk like you are royalty, because you are a child of the Most High God. And having confidence in not just who you are, Dan, but whose you are is going to be the most powerful thing you could ever master. Because before you pick up a tool, and you said you're in instruction, right?
Service industry. I do coffee machines.
Okay, yes. But let me ask you, if you didn't know what you know, would you be able to be effective with the tools you have?
No, of course not.
No. So take what you know, take who God intended you to be, and please leverage the tools you have, because you have everything you need to achieve the goals you want. You have to first believe that you can and you will. You are worth it, Dan. I believe that. And I need you to believe that as well. And the minute you do, you are going to change the world, my friend. So go out there and do that. Cool?
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Tim's next.
Oh, crap. Hey, it's me. Hi, guys. How are you?
What's up, Tim?
That was awesome, brother. That was awesome. Hey, I got a quick question for you, and not to be long-winded. I lost my account. What do I do?
Are you kidding me right now?
Nope, and I'm not. And I'm bringing the question up because Michelle's helping me out. So I just want to say, all seriousness, I did, but I'm going to share something with you. You're gonna die laughing this, and I hope you appreciate this. You resonated when you were saying some things today, and it all came down to trust. It is just trust in yourself, trust in the system, trust in Michelle, trust in all the people who have gone before us, right?
Yes.
All the people who have gone before us and had success, and they've had all these setbacks. Like, just trust in the process. Don't worry about anything else. If you keep the value in the customer in front of you that you're doing it for, like I never focused on money. Money's coming out of my, you know what, every which way this month. It's insane. Like I don't even know where to begin. And I looked at this opportunity as trust in Michelle's leadership in every possible way, that I am going to be stronger for it and stronger for all these opportunities. So all I wanted to say was thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. You made me think of things, and you are a huge blessing for this community. And I have no words to tell you, but I trust you. I'm grateful for you, and I'm so excited about the leadership. That's all I'm going to say. So thank you.
Oh, Tim.
See, Michelle was quick.
Congratulations. But yeah, man, I really first, like, really, I have to congratulate you, Tim, because, and I am so glad I get to do this tonight. But I remember being in my kitchen with my earbud in my ear, listen to you come on to that Zoom in July, on July 27th, right? And I remember this feeling coming over me, like, Tim sounds like he makes 100K. And you hadn't yet asked your question, because you're lovable, long-winded self, and I'm right there with you, because I'm just as long-winded too. But I remember that moment, Tim. And I remember coming to your live streams and just the hope in your eyes that no matter what happened before, you're committed to getting to the goal, which was your first sale, and you are just as the same as you are now, which is something that I severely appreciate about you. That, guys, the Tim you see today is the Tim he was all those months ago. And when I say that, I mean, like, his personality has not changed. Obviously, your mindset has changed, Tim. Obviously, you've grown a lot as a person. But I want to tell you, man, I am deliriously proud of you, because you have literally changed your life because you did not give up. And I don't know if you were being facetious when you asked about your TikTok, but bro, you will have zero problem rebuilding, because you, like I said before, all you got to do is double down, Tim. But I am so glad that I'm able to tell you this to your face. And oh, by the way, I was watching you the other day, and while on your live stream, I got a sale on your live stream, and I took a screenshot and I forgot to send it to you. But you know, I really want to tell you, Tim, that I am so very proud of you. And I know your family is deliriously happy for you, but I'm telling you, just as much as you think that I am a blessing to this community, Tim, Hess, so are you. So thank you. I mean, even though you like the Eagles, which I still can't understand, but okay, I still love you. I had to do it. I had to do it.
That's awesome. All right, Jenny, you're next. And then we have one more, Nicholas, and we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Hey everyone, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. No? No?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. First of all, I want to thank Michelle and Nick. Yeah, when you told about your father, wow, it was so inspiring, Nick. Thank you so much for
thank you.
Yeah. So my question, by the way, I'm from the Philippines too, like Alan. Alan is my sponsor. So yeah. So when you said about engaging people on TikTok for their purpose and like, comments, and share or save, right? So how how many people you are engaging with, and what is that, what does it look like? Like, are you doing it before you do the post, before you post your videos, something like that? What does that look like? Yeah.
So to be fair, and I thank you so much for your question. So to be fair, that's how I judge, who I want to follow me, or who I decide that, I see value in to follow. But the process that I go through every day is this. 10 to 15 minutes before I post a video, I would do what I described. I liked, comment, and share or save a creator's video that resonates with me and is valuable to me, right? And if it impressed me so much so that it resonated so much with me, I would then do what I suggested about their 4 top posts, right? So not only am I engaging with the video that I came across on their For You page, but I then proceed to go after the other 4 videos that are their top if it's not the one I just watched. And I do what it is I described, which is liking, commenting, and sharing or saving that particular video. So that's my process 15 minutes before I post. Then I make a post, right? And I usually, me personally, I usually leave an hour between posts. So I'm doing like 3 to 4 posts a day. So I leave about an hour or so between when I post, right? But after I post, I spend at least 1 hour total for the day engaging on social media. So let's say if I split that up into 3 posts a day, I would spend an additional 15 to 20 minutes after that I post to engage on the For You page, right? Doing the liking, commenting, and saving or sharing, right? That's what I would do. So that would be a total of 30 minutes, right? But the key is you want to engage before and you want to engage after you post, right?
Okay.
Don't just post a video and get off the platform, right? You post a video, you engage, you post, and then you engage after, right? So like I said, you do an hour a day of engagement. If you happen to post, because I know some people post all 3 videos all at once. I'm not saying it can't be done, right? But if you post all 3 videos, you spend 10 to 15 minutes before you post those videos. And then after you post your 3 videos, if you post them all at once, you engage for that preceding 45 minutes after that. So you complete your hour of engagement on the platform.
Okay.
Right? And don't just do it just to do it, but make it a part of your day. Just, when you're not posting, do yourself a favor and spend 15 minutes extra. Just, if you're not posting anything extra that day, or you have some time, spend some time engaging with the For You page and engaging with content that's both in your industry and outside your industry that resonates with you. That's the caveat here. It's engaging with content that resonates with you, right? And you're give something positive and constructive in your comments, right? And once you continue to do that, you will be deemed valuable to the community because you're engaging in the community, right? On TikTok.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. So other question, I do my live stream, and I was being consistent. Like I want to be consistent for start Sunday. Okay, I want to I'm doing my live stream like every day. So, but I'm struggling with getting leads on my funnel when I want to go to my funnel. Put your email. I'm struggling with that. When I check my funnel, I didn't see any people that put their email. So, what do you suggest? What do you recommend to, what should I do about that?
So for live streams, I still, and believe it or not, you guys are probably gonna say it's kind of crazy, but I still use the 4 content keys in my live stream. Right after I introduce myself and let people know why I'm there and things like that, I go into who I am, who I was before I purchased this, what I do now, how I help people, what my goal is, and give them the ability to go to the link in my bio to be able to get connected with me and join my automation. So it's the same thing. Just focus on delivering value in order so you can get these people to your email list. But listen, you have to understand it. Even if someone doesn't join your automations, you being consistent and you consistently showing up, delivering value, and it will, right? It's a process. So it will be valuable. And people, when you continue delivering for people consistently and you stick with it, you will get people to do that. So what I do is I tell people, make sure you're following me on TikTok, but also make sure you're turning on post notifications and make sure you click the link in my bio to get on my email list, because that is the best way to stay in contact with me. And if you talk about, TikTok has a lot of doppelgangers, because I've been victim of that too. People have duplicated my account as well. So, the best way to contact me is via email. The best thing you can do is go get on my email list so you know you're directly talking to me. You're going to get a video from me within 5 or so minutes. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reply to that email, right? So that's my answer for that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Nick and Michelle. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate
You're
you all.
welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right, we have one more, and oh my gosh, how do you say that?
Queenie,
Katie?
Queenie,
Queenie.
like
Okay,
the Queen. Yeah, Queenie.
the Queen. There we go.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Nicholas. First of all, I just want to thank you for being so inspirational for me, especially of this type of color. It's been very inspirational. Thank you for everything, and the God words as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just want to quickly share that I used to have a lot of confidence going live. I started online stuff from 2015, but every time I go live and I find something new, there's others out there who are leaders in the online world, same race as me, but they don't want me to succeed. And I've lost my confidence being brave to go out there publicly. And the other thing is I've promoted so many things over the years, and I have a lot of different stories, like real ones. I'm not sure. And plus, digital marketing is very new to me. And so, geez, what's my question? I suppose one of my questions is, how can I get my confidence back? I suppose I'm like scared to do anything, and also I think that because of the digital marketing stuff is new, and I'm just scared that I don't know enough, and that's all.
Yeah, I understand, and thank you so much for sharing with me, and the rest of the group here. But again, I want you to understand what I shared with Ben. You are good enough. You are worth enough, right? But you have to also understand why this is different, right? Because guess what? I have promoted a lot of things too, right? Was definitely, before 2023, I was definitely a part of the NFL, right? The No Friends Left Club, right?
That's me. From 97 I started.
But you see what just happened? Did you notice what just happened? What did you say just now? Yeah, that's me. Do you see how your story got me to identify with it, share a similar story, and you go, yeah, that's me. Right? That's how. That's literally how. this is the thing, and I'm gonna go back to the word of God here. God did not give you a spirit of fear, but one of power, love, and a sound mind. Right? You have to remember whose you are. And this is the thing that we are taught in society, that we're not allowed to disagree with someone. That it means because I disagree with you, I don't love you, I don't appreciate you. This is the thing I had to learn. That even though I love my family and I love those friends, I did not believe that they believed or respected me as a person. And if I looked one of these 83 people, yourself included, and say, I am scared, so I'm going to hide and say, I'm not going to speak anymore, what would you say to me? Based on what you've heard me talk about tonight, and you know the value that you got tonight, what would you say to me if I said that?
I would say you can't stop talking. You can't stop your message.
Listen to me. I don't know if Victoria is in here, but I come from doing live streams on Facebook, and you want to talk about a scary thing and not having people on your live streams. I have been talking since 2015, and I remember the first time I hit record, I was on the live stream like this, literally on the live stream like this, and my hand was shaking. But you have to know, my friend, that it's not about them. It's not about them. Stop looking for them to give you the okay. I got news for you. As an extension of your mentor, I'm giving this to you. I give you the permission to go out there and win. I am giving you, my friend, the permission right now, because you need to hear this. It's not about what your race is or what you believe or what other people believe is about you. And this is what I tell people. It's not what people call you, it's what you answer to. You understand? It's what you answer to. So it's not about them. Go out there and be more valuable and more relatable and deliver for people like you, people that feel like you, people that worry like you, people that question themselves like you, people who have done a little bit of everything on the planet like you, and show them that they don't have to be afraid. They don't have to be scared. They don't have to live in fear, because God did not give us a spirit of fear, but He gave us one of power and love and a sound mind. We are created to be more than conquerors through Christ. If you remember whose you are, you will never question the purpose that He has for you, because, my friend, He has a wonderful, impactful, powerful purpose for you, the God of the universe, the person, the being in this that created this world. He knows all of the hairs on your head. He knows the number. So if He cared enough to create you, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, go out into this world and walk in power and walk with your chest held high and your chin to the sky, because you are in the royal priesthood of God. You are created to be more than a conqueror. Walk with confidence, my friend, because that is who God created you to be.
Thank you. You are
Anytime.
amazing. Thank you so much.
Anytime. God bless you, my friend. You are worth it, my friend. Every person that's still left in here, I give you, because God sent me here to tell all of you, I give you the permission to win. He has given you the permission to win. If you are here in this room right now, if you are watching this replay after, I am giving you by the power of God Himself, because He sent me to tell you that you have the permission to win. Because you are mighty through Christ. You are a part of His creation. You, my friend, have been specially made, and every trial and every setback has been a way to fashion your life to be able to be that uniquely and sweetly sounding vessel to bring His message to glorify Him. So go out there and be that every single day. Promise?
I wrote a song called More Than Conquerors.
Yeah. Walk in it, my friend. And don't spend another second shrinking. Guys, this is the last thing I want to leave all of you with. We promote the most powerful foundational industry in human history. Never shrink. Never shy away when they ask you what you do, when they ask you how you change, when they ask you how can you help, when they ask you what do I get here, tell them that we teach you to promote anything. Look them square in the face and tell them we change lives here. We save lives here. Because how many of you know of a business? How many of you know of a restaurant or a dental practice or a real estate company or an electronic company or a toy store? R.I.P. Jeffrey's job, right? But how many of you know of a business that should be more successful than it is, but it went under because of lack of people? We teach people to become the hunted and not the hunter. We teach people to change their lives. And if you ever doubt that, come in here, click on this community, and click on the wins and shoutouts, and you re-energize yourself with how many people's lives have changed. Don't just look at the money. Look at how people's lives have changed. And that is the very same power that God has given you with this opportunity to learn digital marketing. It's not about the course, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the power that the skill set of digital marketing gives. Never forget that. And never shy away from that.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. You are amazing. This has been awesome. I appreciate your time and your heart. And so good, so good. So thank you, you guys. This will be uploaded. And Nicholas, I will put the replay in testimonial so you can get it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.